Hello, everybody. How y'all doing today? This is Tim talking to you, doing my thing. Welcome. Monday morning is the start of week two of the Dieselfunk Dispatch. Hoping that everything will go okay today, and we are doing. Let's see. Okay, everything seems to be in order. Just checking a little bit of stuff there. Um, Today, I don't know who's going to be watching this type of stuff, but today it's like, how should I say, the AI is a tricky thing. AI is very, very tricky. I've noticed a lot of conversations coming up recently online about how AI is utilized to do certain types of work, and it's a tricky thing. It's a tricky thing because for a lot of folks, AI represents the what can I say? AI represents the end of the way art has been produced up to this moment. It represents the end of that. It really does, and it's a very scary thing for a lot of artists. It is scary for me. Uh, I have don't I have not talked about how I utilize AI publicly, and I've been using it now for I've been using it off and on. The first year, I started investigating it at the end of 2022 when Midjourney finally turned that corner, and I began to really. I did about a year's worth of heavy research. So 2023 was like heavy research, and the first 6 months to a year were very difficult because the first when AI finally turned that corner in terms of generative AI, when it was reaching something, even though it had like 10, it had like 10 fingers on each hand, uh, the quality, the render and lighting quality was comparable to what traditional artists could produce, mostly because the language models were being trained on images, stolen from or scraped is the term that they use. But they took it without permission. It's not the first time things have been taken with the advent of emerging technologies. No one gave permission for their locations to be recorded, but yet we all use GPS on our phones, and it's just as invasive as AI will be. I can't even go anywhere without using my GPS, particularly when I'm in a car. We just have to, you remember there was a day, but anyone who was born after 2000 or 2010 would not understand it. But there was a point where you had to memorize where you were going. You had to have directions, and you had to generally memorize them. Or the street signs, you had to kind of like make your way or ask directions. Now people barely ask directions for stuff. But the thing that's happened now is, as I was noticing, Shakita Applebaum and Tony Perrier were involved. These both talented artists who were involved in this discussion about AI and what it means, and I felt like both of them made very solid points because I'll repeat what I said for the audience if anyone's watching tonight. We're past the point where Charlton Heston finds Taylor in Planet of the Apes. We're past the point where we find the Statue of Liberty on the beach. We're past that point now. There is no putting this back in the bottle. And that said, I am a traditional artist. However, although I'm a traditional artist and I still do things by hand, I still make things by hand. Uh, Digital is the tool. That's the form that I work in. I'm still drawing with a pen. I'm still building in 3D with a mouse. And that's what it is. And I use digital technology pretty extensively in my work. I'm in New York here, so it's storming tonight. Uh, but I think perhaps it might be a good time to actually showcase how I, as a traditional artist, use AI. Now, let me qualify this. Four things that I want to say regarding why I use it. I use it because I am primarily known for doing this book here. It's the book I'm primarily known for doing. And it took me years to get around to doing this book. It's an odd sense because this book technically could have been done decades ago. Infinitum, an Afrofuturist Tale. That book almost killed me because although I was painting in Photoshop and Clip Studio Paint, the amount of rendering I had to do, I know I'm not the same artist before I started that book as I was after. I had nerves issues because the human body is not meant to do that much rendering. One page after the other. Basically, Infinitum was 284 paintings. Uh, you know, and I'm proud of that book, but I can't do another book like that. I can do 5 or 10 pages like that, but I can't do another 300-page book. And even with Infinitum had digital technology, it had photographic elements, it had 3D elements. I've been using 3D modeling and animation in my work. God, what is it? 2025, almost 30 years now. So I'm an old head at this. I was never the best animator or mauler. There are guys who were much better than I were, who were willing to sit down and learn the tools much better than I did. But I learned it well enough to be able to get what I needed out of my work. Uh, Now, I'm talking and blabbering a little bit here, so let me get to it here. Let me get to it. And also the second thing, and while I'm doing that, I guess I'll show a little bit of stuff here. Um, Oops, wrong one. Here, let's go to. Well, actually, I suppose I could go here. That's weird. Oh, okay. I see what's happening. I'm looking at. I'm always constantly looking at different things. Let's see, what was that? That's this one? Let me close that one. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna go here. I don't know if it's gonna come up, but we'll be all right either way. Um, I I man, how do I say this? I utilize 3D modeling in my work. And I use 3D modeling in my work because it gets tedious drawing things over and over and over again. And what I'm going to do here, let's see if I can pull up Safari again. So I was trying to fix that. No, that still came up. I don't know why that's there. A weird thing. Let me see if I can go back here to my thing. Hang on, guys. All right, I'm gonna turn this off. Turn it back on. Okay. That is not working, but we're not going to worry about that for right now. What I use is I use 3D modeling in my work, and a lot of things that I use in my work tend to be uh, um, 3D models that I build in the computer because I believe in the philosophy of build once, use infinitely. Now, sometimes I build the models from scratch. Sometimes I build the models from I build them. I find models online that I can use and modify. So, for example, and I'm just going to go through all of the different things. I do use Unreal Engine for my work. I don't use Unity, but I do use Unreal Engine. And you might say, okay, what am I showing you? This is a 3-panel page from Black Prince, which I'm trying to make sure I make progress every day. And hold on one second here. That is interesting. I'm getting a little bit of kind of a strange display here. Well, actually, okay, I think we are right. We are right. Let's see here. We will go here to. I'm going to turn this off, and we will go here. Nope. Hang on, guys. Alrighty. We have some very interesting thing. Mail Studio is kind of acting up on me now. All right. All right, I'm turning this off and on. I need to kind of like, I think, refresh this maybe. Hang on one second, guys. Hang on. Let's say we're going to. These things happen. Okay. Wow, that was unexpected. All right, we're gonna. I'm not gonna end this stream. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see what happens if I go into Photoshop. All right, Photoshop is. Nope, a different one. I don't know why this is happening today. Okay. All right. try to do this correctly without messing up my stream here. But wow, that's interesting. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Since this is acting up today, we're gonna go to our desktop. And our desktop, everything is all right. Let's shut down Safari. Let's see what happens. Okay. All right, so the stream is still running. That's good. All right, let me go to back to my Be Right Back screen and try to figure out what's going on here, guys.